So today I'm going to be doing some unintentional ASMR. Obviously for me it's going to be intentional, but I'm going to be doing ASMR in this style popularized by Kim Kardashian and similar celebrities, wherein they would post little snippets of their day-to-day via Snapchat or Instagram stories or other social media platforms. Little vignettes, kind of glimpses into their daily lives. Very spontaneous, not super planned out. And very object-based, lots of show and tell, depending on the different foci, in their day. Like very close-up looks at the different things in someone's day, like maybe they're making lunch and they're like, this is my favorite grilled cheese recipe. Obviously, the objects in question are going to be very different for me, but yeah, I'm going to try to imitate that, just showing you little details that I like in my life. I made the decision to not be sarcastic about it or not try to do any sort of impression. I'm just going to be myself, but emulating that particular style that I already like and already somewhat do, in my Instagram TV, my IGTV videos. Yeah, so I think this is the first time I think they qualify as unintentional ASMR, but they are more literally unintentional. That wasn't my main focus, but I do post videos that are lo-fi, kind of showing you this and that from my life on Instagram via IGTV. But this is the first time I'm doing something like this for YouTube, where I'm not trying so hard to whisper or maintain a certain sonic quality. This kind of content is relaxing for some people. It's kind of a subgenre of ASMR, but for some people it's not going to have the effect at all because, it's not whispering and it's a far cry from it, It's not even as soft speaking as many fans of soft speaking prefer. So yeah, it's kind of hit or miss, but I certainly find it relaxing and I got it as a request, so I know at least one of my subscribers also finds it relaxing. But I made the decision to not be sarcastic or ironically detached. I'm going to be myself and show you things that I sincerely want to show you, but with maybe some emulation of the kind of cadence and just the general energy of those videos. So yeah, I hope you like it. So I don't know if you can hear, but there's a helicopter. It's been flying overhead for a while, and the birds are going nuts outside. Also, some people who live in the house next door, I think most of them are part of the same family unit. They've all convened out front in their front yard, which is just right there for me. And they're having a nice chat with each other, so lots of noise today. It's also just a gloomy, overcast day, so the light in my apartment is worse than usual, and I'm feeling kind of meh, so we'll see what I get. Okay, talking about granular day-to-day events. I've arrived at Starbucks to pick up my matcha. My hair is super frizzy today. It was a wash day. Sometimes y'all will leave really nice comments about my hair being super glossy. That usually happens if I've taken the right steps or, it's had time to kind of settle down. But after it dries, it can get pretty frizzy and then it kicks back up, especially in the back once I've slept on it. So by later in the day, my hair can get that kind of glossy look, but not right after a shower and certainly not in the morning. So my skin is getting back to normal for me. I have some some little spots still and some scarring, but in general, it feels like I've really rounded a corner with it in the last few weeks, which has been lovely. I didn't know if that would ever happen. I was bracing myself for months and months of acne struggles and maybe just a completely different skin future than I'd ever expected. But knock on wood, things seem to be clearing up, and I'm proud of myself for not internalizing, like not having negative self-esteem around my skin. I think I was really gentle with myself throughout the process. I was like, yeah, this is happening, it's normal, it's okay. So yeah. So this hat came distressed, and I added this patch a few years ago, and I took it with me on a trip to Ireland, and I left it on a bus. But my sister tracked it down and paid the company to mail it to me. She had to convince them to do it. She put a lot of effort into getting this hat back to me. So it'll always be a favorite. I'm going to take a moment now to show you my car, just a little bit of it, in case you're curious. So I drive a Toyota, and it's very basic. Like, this is the extent of the controls, the features, just because it was the cheapest one. You know, I did get it new. This was a while ago now, but you know, it's a lucky thing to be able to get a new car, but it was the most basic you can get. So most people I meet have more going on inside their cars than I do, but still very grateful. This is a little essential oil air freshener, kind of doohickey. I guess I'll show you my keys because there's not much to show in the car. So yeah, in lieu of more interesting things to show you inside the cabin, I'll just show you my keys. Always gotta have pepper spray. This is a little keychain I got from a small local shop. I quite like it. And then this key is to my neighbors. Nope, my best friend's. I don't know why I said neighbors. My best friend's apartment in New York. We've taken the relationship to that level. Very serious. We're going to be together forever. So I've had this car since 2013. It is my first car. It's not the car I learned to drive on. I learned to drive on one of my mom's old cars, and my siblings had both already learned to drive on that same car, so it was not going to make it much longer. So yeah, this is my first car, and she's pretty beaten up. I've gotten in a few accidents, most of them not my fault. You know, I've been rear-ended a few times, which happens living in Los Angeles. I've also driven on Manhattan. I've driven in Washington, D.C., so I've driven in some of the worst traffic conditions possible, and I've driven across the United States. So one of my financial goals for the next stage in my life is to buy a new car. I didn't really get to decide much about this one. Like, my dad picked it out because of the safety rating and the cost, you know, different factors. So I got to pick the color out of 4 different colors, and I picked that. Everything else wasn't really up to me, and so I'm excited for that stage in my life when I can pick out a car. I can save enough to buy my own car. So I'm gonna get inside because my green tea matcha has ice in it, and the ice is melting. But first, I thought I'd give you a peek at what's in the back. There are some hats. You have to have sun protection always. And a roll of paper towels and a piece of art that I'm getting framed. Other than that, it's pretty empty in here. I just like to keep things clean to the point of Spartan, There are some things in my center console. They're all in a bag because there was a recall on this car recently. So I took it in to get it serviced, and they stuck everything in a little plastic bag. It used to be better organized. Oh, and these are my SPF sleeves if I'm ever out and I need to cover my arms, protect them from the sun. You can call it dorky, but it's 2021. We are protecting ourselves from the sun. Get on board.
He's all safe now. Have a good life. Rip some heads off, you know what I'm saying? Fight the patriarchy.
You know what they say? Happy life, happy... Wait. No, that's not it. Happy wife, happy life. And they also say the most important relationship you have is the one you have with yourself. So by transitive property of aphorisms, I should always get myself a green tea matcha latte. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Such a happy sound. I'm very excited by this new development. My fiddle leaf fig plant is growing some new leaves. See? Little baby leaves. I just think it's the cutest thing in the world. And since we got a grow light, our other plants are doing much better too. This one keeps growing and growing. Look, new growth. Oh my gosh, I just noticed that as well. And our orchid, it's normal for orchids to get a little yellow on the bottom leaves as long as they're still growing new little ones. That's where that energy is going, so it makes sense for them to shed the bottom or the lower leaves, depending on how you think of it. So yeah, the snake plant is growing very slowly. He's just not thriving, and I don't know why. He's more akin to a succulent, so he should be doing pretty well. They're very hardy, but yeah, he's not grown too much in the last few years. So I thought it'd be fun to give you a tour of my apartment. No, didn't mean to say tour, not a tour. So I'm gonna take you through my apartment really quickly, not a full-blown tour, just a very quick walkthrough. Sorry for my squeaky shoes. So this is my kitchen. If you're interested in a closer look, I give a tour on my Instagram by way of an IGTV video. This is my living room. This is my writing desk, and this mirror is one of my prized possessions. Did I already say that? I think I already said that. Well, it's worth saying twice. I really love it. Let's look a little closer, even though that feels a little bit like a tour thing to do. It's just beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous. One fun thing about putting a glass topper on your desk or your tabletop, in addition to the fact that it will protect your furniture, which is always a lot of fun, is that you can change out different things underneath. So here I have this wrapping paper that I would never use as wrapping paper because it's just too beautiful and too fun to be disposable. Inside here is my vintage typewriter. It's an Olympia from 1955, I think. I need to check on that. I'll put it in my Don't Tell Liv Tyler notes. Oops. So it does actually have a ribbon installed. So it is ready to use, assuming it hasn't dried out since I last used it. Now we enter the hallway. This is a good spot to check your outfit before you leave the house. Check. One thing that's annoying is I think the straps are not the same size because this one always falls down. If they are the same size, that says something worrisome about the symmetry of my body, like one of my shoulders is a lot lower than the other, something like that. Moving on, we have some built-ins, some cupboards here. They add a lot to the overall storage of the apartment, so that's great. Through here is the bathroom, very green, lots of vintage tiling. And then this is the bedroom. This is where I record a lot of my videos. Sorry, the floor is very creaky, as are my shoes. Hello. I love my bedspread. I love anything white with texture. It just looks like cake to me. And I have double curtains, and I think they go very well with the bedspread, especially this front set that has little pom-poms along the edge on both sides. See? I got this new dress and I quite like it, but I just can't decide if the arms are too puffy, if you know what I mean. A little too much frippery. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but the light in this room is really beautiful right now. Just looking at the ceiling and the floor. Yeah, I think I'm going to ask my tailor if these sleeves can be reined in just a little bit. And I'll let his answer determine whether or not I keep this. Fingers crossed. Meanwhile, these pants and this shirt are winners. Can never go wrong with a long sleeve button-up crop top. But these pants are a new style for me. They're, I don't know what you'd call them, very relaxed. I love this time of day when little glimmers of light hit the curtains. We have a kind of faux stained glass there that's quite pretty. It's lunchtime, so time for some rolled tacos. Nice and crispy right out the oven. I reused this sheet of parchment paper, which is why it looks so gross. This spoon is very near and dear to me. I've had it since I was really, really little. I don't remember life before this spoon, and it was my favorite spoon. So once I was no longer using like child-safe plastic ones, I was always asking to use this one because of, I guess, just this little pattern here. It was the only one we had like it, so it was memorable and I got really attached to it. Earlier I was saying that in my opinion, one of the added benefits of glass tabletops is that you can slip underneath different decorative touches, ephemera, maybe inspirational quotations, especially if it's a creative space like a writing space or another workspace. So this one says, wishing you a season filled with organizing, activism, and feminist merriment. And over here, this is just a picture of some donuts. It's not inspiration of any kind, I don't know about you, but hearing the words inspiration and food side by side raises my hackles a little bit. I just like how it looks. And then this says, something will grow from all you are going through, and it will be you. With nice floral touches. So yeah, you can change them out. Sometimes I've had photos here, different ephemera like ticket stubs from movies, other shows, anything you can slip underneath really. Wrapping paper like you saw before. And of course that's specialty wrapping paper, but even just normal wrapping paper, if it's seasonal and you want to stick something under a surface on which you're going to be putting drinks or chips and dip, if you're having a get-together, that can be nice to have wrapping paper there. I really love my bed frame. I bought it a few years ago from an ironworks company. And it has a kind of floral energy, but it's not literal. Like, I think this looks like little rosebuds upside down or some sort of fluted flower shape. And I really love this keyhole shape that you can see in both the footboard and the headboard there. Hey again. In general, I really love the way it was wrought. The lines of it are very soft. I don't know, I think it reminds me of Art Nouveau, if that makes sense. Yeah, I really love it. I thought it'd be fun to introduce you to some of my favorite pieces of furniture, many of which have names. So let's take a look together now. This is Clive Niles. He holds electronics, various items that kind of go under your television. He's not mine at all, so the person with whom I live gets total control of what goes inside Clive Niles. And usually we try to hide the cords. The whole point of this faux mantle was to hide those unsightly cords that tend to hang from wall-mounted televisions. So we just need to get them tucked away in place once again, because at some point one of them fell out. Clive Niles is very handsome. He has some lovely details. And I don't want to show you what's inside. That's an invasion of someone's privacy, but he's very substantial, and he has a magnetic closure that is very strong. This chair, in spite of being very loved, does not have a name, but this ottoman does. His name is Charlie. He's pretty misshapen at this point. He's stuffed with foam, and he's been used as a weight bench for much of quarantine. Oh my goodness, there's that light again. So pretty. This armoire is named Otis. I spent a long time looking for Otis, so he'll always be very special to me. I just love that his hardware is kind of inlaid, like the handles have their own little resting places. And it makes it look like he's smiling at you. Sorry about the noise from my fridge. This is Bianca, resident shabby chic goddess. I found a knob for her and added it. She didn't have anything here. And I did that after I repainted her because she was in pretty sorry shape when I got her. I got her for $18 on OfferUp. This bamboo bench is called Sandra. I don't know why. And then, even though I love this bistro table, it does not have a name. No rhyme or reason. This is Fred. I got Fred for $8 at the Goodwill. Fred had an identical twin. I had to fight a woman for Fred. She wanted both. I didn't think that seemed fair or was necessary. As sad as it is to split them up, I thought it was only fair that one person got one, the other person got the other. And I was there first. So she made a compelling case. She was like, well, I want both of them, but I knew exactly where I wanted to put Fred. Fred fits perfectly in this space between this old heater and the edge of the wall. I don't know if you can tell, but Fred is a light mint green. I love his hardware. His poles are classic. And then some of his corners are reinforced with these kind of L-shaped brackets. Not the most elegant hardware, but from afar it looks very smart. Like a train case or a trunk or something like that. I love this nightstand. It reminds me of Jasmine from Aladdin. not just because of the color, but because of the cane webbing insert. This panel right here reminds me of the aviary in which Jasmine kept her birds before she decided to set them free. And then look at this little knob. So sweet. Isn't that cute? So yeah, 100% a favorite piece of furniture of mine, and yet it doesn't have a name. I don't know why. Can't explain my process. Here we have my noisemaker. It's quite dusty. I like to sleep with white noise. I had one of these in my bedroom growing up. My mom was a clinical psychologist, and these are pretty common to see in waiting rooms of clinical psychologists, therapists, counselors, just to raise the sound floor and add a little bit of sonic privacy so you can't hear snippets of the conversation happening in office as easily when you're waiting there. So my mom put one of these in each of our bedrooms, my siblings and my respective bedrooms, to have on at night to help us sleep. So now I can't really sleep without white noise. Just sitting down for one of my all-time favorite snacks. It's really simple. Couldn't be more simple. I just slice up a tomato and throw on some salt and pepper. That's it. And I love it. I'm sorry my jaw pops so intensely. My dentist said things are all kinds of out of whack. How cool is this glass light box? It's a human heart. Got it on Etsy as a teenager. It's full of Christmas lights, so it never burns out. I mean, it does, but you can replace the lights inside. It's got a little stopper in the bottom like a piggy bank. So I'm pretty superstitious about throwing out or getting rid of photos. I save them whenever possible. So over the years I've ended up with some photos I didn't like enough to put in the main albums. Or I guess sometimes something went wrong, like this one clearly was a failed double exposure. But some of them I just don't know how to explain. What does it mean? And, I mean, this one's obvious. I'm just having a nice drink with my plant, obviously. Okay, I remember now. I left these as like a scavenger hunt around my apartment. Not a scavenger hunt, but just like I'd take a picture of me somewhere in the apartment and leave it there when I went on a trip, just to be funny. And so clearly these are the ones that didn't pass muster. I agree. Gonna change shirts really quickly, and this one is very much in the style I always enjoy. This one is a little snap Henley with a lettuce hem at the bottom. I just really love long sleeve crop tops. So one thing about Henleys that you kind of have to accept is that often the buttons or the snaps are separate little inserts because they're made on a thicker strip of fabric, one that can support the hardware. Think of like zippers. Zippers come in these little nylon strips. So this isn't nylon, but it's a thicker material than the rest of the shirt. The snaps or the buttons, whatever panel will go here, making it a Henley. They're fabricated separately. And sometimes that material, these little strips that they can source and insert, they try to match them as closely as possible, or they intentionally pick a different color to complement the shirt. So they'll get inserted, but they'll be fabricated separately, and sometimes it's a far thicker material than the rest of the shirt. Like this is nice and soft and stretchy. So that means that it has less give and it's kind of heavier, so sometimes it will just hang down, like sit kind of funny on the larger shirt. We have a peach tree outside and it's starting to grow some peaches for the year. So I want to show you this jewelry chest. It's sitting atop my lingerie chest. And I've had it for a few years. About 10 years actually. This also features some cane webbing. And all the little drawers have been decoupaged. It's a fuzzy kind of fabric like a faux velvet or maybe just a really soft felt. And this one is a big drawer. It doesn't look like it, but I don't even know what's in there. Oh my gosh, my button collection. Oh, thank goodness. Oh God, I'm such a dork. So other than that little surprise, all the drawers are empty. And they're all lined with this fantastic yellow fabric. Also very soft. So I just think this is the sweetest thing. Before there was Marie Kondo, there was this. Learned everything I needed to know before the age of 10. Took me a while after that to figure out how to actually do it, but oh, look at that. So organized. So I usually keep notes in my phone, but occasionally I'll write things down in this little pocket notebook I keep in my desk and sometimes in my purse, though I haven't had much use of it this past year as I wasn't going out and about for particularly long intervals. Whoops. So, whoops. Here is a set of notes from a tutoring day. I was running through a practice test with a student and just wanted to keep track with my own weird little rubric of how they'd done on each question. This one was from tax season. I was trying to figure out what expenses I could write off from tutoring and trying to figure out my mileage from that last little bit of 2020 during which I used my car for work. So that's an odometer number, not an income number, just to clarify. At one point I spilled water on the notebook, so there's some ink bleeding on a few pages, but I don't mind. This is just a little list of things that have gotten really cruddy in my apartment and I'd like to save up and replace them.
soon as I can.
So I'm trying to support small businesses and buy toiletries from small or local vegan shops. I bought a shave bar from this one business. Oops, it's kind of hard to get out. I had to store it in something like this so that it wouldn't dissolve in the shower. So it's made with olive oil and other different ingredients for a nice moisturizing shave experience. And then the company sent me this sample as well. Another shaving soap. I just think it's a different formulation, maybe a different scent. Isn't that sweet? I love it. I'm super excited to try this one once I've used this one up completely. Another small business purchase. I got myself this makeup brush cleaning cake or soap. You wet it and then you rub the brush against it. It creates a kind of lather and it makes the makeup wash out more easily and helps maintain the bristles. And I bought this off Etsy and the company sent me a couple little samples. Not sure what these products are exactly, but I'm excited to investigate further and report back. And then I'm so excited about this next one. Also custom made. This is the liner and oh my gosh, look at that. Look at this gorgeous corset. Wow. It's under bust. Oh my gosh. I'm seeing this for the first time here with you, so. Amazing. I've been waiting to open this for weeks now. I think it's time to try it on. So yeah, this corset liner just protects your skin and protects the corset, so you wear it underneath. Okay, let's take a closer look together. So I'm having trouble getting past a certain point on my own. Sorry, this is a ridiculous outfit, but like when you are using ribbon and gift wrapping, it's helpful to have someone help you tie a corset because it's hard to hold the tension and tie it at the same time. So it's a bit of a process. Let me see if I can show you the back. So when I let go, it goes a little looser. Sorry if this is TMI, but it's an under bust corset and it's really nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of fit I can get with some help. Another small business purchase I'm excited about is this bikini I bought off Etsy. The seller took my measurements and made it custom, so it fits perfectly. The bottoms are somewhat 80s inspired. They're relatively high-waisted. The top ties behind the neck and here at the bust, kind of where the gore of your bra would be. The colors and the pattern are all super summery, bright, fun, kind of a hot coral. So I just wanted to give you a quick look at the fit, and it got really noisy in my bedroom. It's also just getting very dark in my apartment. But yeah, it's pretty high-waisted. I really can't suggest highly enough getting a custom fit bathing suit. It's going to fit your body much more nicely. I think buying off the rack is just a recipe for feeling shitty about yourself, feeling like there's something wrong with your body in some way. I've seldom found a bathing suit off the rack that I felt really good wearing. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you the back briefly. It's pretty high-waisted. This product, I have to give a special shout out. It's really been a game changer in my journey to calm and improve my skin. Highly, highly recommend. By Paula's Choice, reliably cruelty-free. The entire brand is cruelty-free. This is the Azoleic Acid Booster. I was looking to integrate some sort of product with azelaic acid because I'd heard good things about it from dermatologists and just the general online skincare community. I know some things are trendy without merit, but this one had the blessing of, had the endorsement, I guess, of even the most cynical dermatologist online. Not cynical, but she's got high standards and isn't going to vouch for something just because it's trendy. So I knew I needed to get a product with azelaic acid, and I was already ordering some things from Paula's Choice and they were having a sale, so I gave this one a shot and I'm so glad I did. The texture is lovely. It's not tacky. It goes on and absorbs really nicely. After your moisturizer, I use it before bed, and it can be used in conjunction with lots of different things, including actives. So yeah. How many sunglasses are too many sunglasses? Asking for a friend. I'm also going to tell my friend that she needs to dust her sunglasses. They could use a wipe down for sure. It's me. It's my excessive collection of cheap sunglasses. I'm not going to show you my entire jewelry collection. Wow, it's dusty in here too. But I'm going to take out two of my favorite pieces to take a closer look. So I absolutely love both these necklaces. I don't wear them too often because that really big costume look is a little passé at the moment, but I'd never get rid of them. They're just too sweet, too fun, too beautiful. This one is lucite. Lots of little petals. They move ever so slightly, especially on the bottom. I think these are a little more fixed in place, the inner layers. I got this necklace in Old Town Alexandria by the water. And this one I got in some fast fashion boutique or another. Good news is I fully intend to keep it forever. So, if you already have fast fashion among your accessories and in your wardrobe, that's okay. Just make sure you get a lot of use out of it. Obviously, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting use out of these necklaces per se, but I am keeping them. I'm not throwing them out, and I'm enjoying them in my own weird collector kind of way. I'm not saying I invented collecting things. I just think that I should strive to get more real life enjoyment out of things, but I just like to hoard and covet them. Trying to give you a little impression of what it looks like on. Clearly I'm still wearing my bathing suit from earlier. Just trying to film a bunch of these little clips before dinner time. Yeah, I like to wear it pretty high up. Somewhere between choker length and collar length. Obviously, the different elements go together perfectly. I really love this one. With the flash on, it's a little overexposed, but the blue is really lovely. See how the bottom petals almost look transparent when it's on? So beautiful. Yeah. Don't tell me these don't go together. I think they do. Ready for a pool party. I probably should just go ahead and do a jewelry collection at some point. These are a little messed up, but lots of fun. I don't think I could even scratch the surface today because I do collect costume jewelry. Like this is just a big box of fun earrings. Yeah, for another time. One thing I definitely need to do now that things are opening back up is take a few pieces to a jeweler for repair. Like this earring obviously is segmented, broken into 2 different pieces. And then this ring has a little notch missing and it just needs to be sewn up and put back into the correct shape. I also need to reintegrate my travel jewelry into my main collection. So this is a little padded travel jewelry case. I also have one in that design, but this is the one I was using last time I was able to travel anywhere I'd need jewelry or want jewelry. So yeah, some of my favorites from that time. Just little hairpins. I keep some hairpins in this trick box and am famously unable to open it every time I think to. So, see, once it's all put back together, it's really hard to tell how and where it opens. I knew this would just turn into a house tour of sorts. Unlike Kim K, I don't have like promotional items to show you. No designers sending me custom gowns, so I end up just circling back to the same things that always hold my interest, my collections, and just little things in my environment. I really wish I could figure out where I have been keeping spare buttons. You know, and all this time I haven't known where the main collection was. And I know I haven't been throwing out buttons, you know, when you get spares with a new shirt, new dress. So, gotta find those wayward buttons and integrate them into the main collection. In here, lots of family photos. Not gonna get into it. Sorry for the racket. Some sort of seance. Highly suspicious. Never done this before, but we're gonna let the cards decide what's for dinner. And to drink, we don't really have, it's gonna be too late for tea, but I'm going to interpret this as lemonade. So I got a lot of new X-Men cards in the last few weeks, and I'm so excited to show you all of them. This is not even the extent of my recent purchases. I kind of went on a spree. These were just the last 5, 6, 7, 8 to arrive. And the ones that arrived before these, I had already put in the binder. The big binder in which I keep my X-Men card collection as a whole. But a lot of my favorite ones were in this last batch to arrive. Not all from the same seller, from like 3 or 4 different sellers. This one is actually a repeat. I did not realize I already had this Psylocke, but Psylocke is one of the characters, one of the mutants I like to collect. So that was an accident. Whoops, Nightcrawler is upside down. I mean, the card is upside down. The card was upside down because Nightcrawler is supposed to be upside down. It's very confusing, I know. This was an exciting purchase from a 1991 series. And then, look at this. It's Jean Grey and Scott Summers getting married. So cool. And then these 3 were all from the same seller. I also like to collect White Queen. And I also like to collect Phoenix, as well as Dark Phoenix. They aren't one and the same, though they are related. But so Phoenix Force, think of that as like Dark Phoenix is the incarnation of Phoenix Force as pertains to Jean Grey, or like through Jean Grey, just like Venom. It's kind of a character all its own, but it has different hosts. So Eddie Brock and Venom aren't one and the same, though they do overlap. You know, there is a middle of that Venn diagram. And Phoenix is the daughter of Scott Summers and Marvel Girl. So it's just interesting, like, some of these characters have just different incarnations, different iterations in different franchises, different series, different eras. But yeah, Phoenix is not Dark Phoenix, not Jean Grey. Now, if you're like, how could Scott have ever been with anyone other than Jean Grey? Well, Marvel Girl is another name for Jean Grey, another alias, another era in Jean Grey's life. So I know that's all super confusing, and I don't explain it well. I'm not the end-all, be-all. Like, one of my very good friends knows much more about all this than I do and is often explaining it to me. But yeah, the Phoenix Force is an entity that links itself or bonds to different hosts, much like Venom. Venom is a symbiote, an alien symbiote. So different but similar logic. So yeah, this is essentially Jean Grey's daughter, and Phoenix Force manifests in her in later storylines through her. I think a lesson I'm learning is that if I get my matcha too late in the day, like after 1 p.m., I don't tend to finish it. I think it's a kind of morning motivator. Like when I'm up in the morning, I look forward to it. But as the day goes on, I'm less interested. So can you guess what's in here? In this linty bag. I swear I'm a clean person. But you turn your flash on and suddenly everything looks horrifying. That's catastrophizing. Far less clean is what I meant to say. So, I don't know if any of you all play Yahtzee, but if you do, and you haven't invested in, oh goodness, a rolling cup yet, I'd say go for it. Life is short. Okay, let's see if this softens the sound of the dice on the tabletop while I do a little demonstration for you. Okay, well, I obviously need to roll for 5 because I'm a Pips junkie. No, okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3. It's kind of a gut shot, but maybe I can roll for a 4. Wow, that makes me look much better at this than I am. Okay, so I'm going to put myself down for a large straight. So I have a very small closet into which I've crammed an impressive amount of clothing. I'm not going to go too much into the organization of the space. I'm not really doing a closet tour, but I wanted to show you what I wore for my first movie outing in almost a year and a half. So this flirty little thing I wore to see A Quiet Place Part 2 just the other night. It was a very happy moment being back in theaters. I'm a big movie lover and a movie goer. You know, some people love movies, but they don't love going out to see them. They like to see them at home. Not me. I love to be in theaters with other people, seeing things for the first time en masse together. So I wore this the other night. It was a lot of fun. Something about the lapel reminds me of like old-fashioned clowns. I don't know about you. Like, just imagine, what's his name? Pennywise in this little getup. I'm sure he'd look marvelous. It nips in really nicely at the waist, and obviously he likes dramatic flair. So yeah. I'd been waiting about a year and a half to wear this. I ordered it a long time ago. Well worth the wait. Another item I'm so excited to wear this summer. It was already in my rotation 2 summers ago. The last summer that I was out and about. In fact, it needs to be fixed because the zipper, it's torn here, and the zipper sometimes comes out at the end, if you can imagine. So it all needs to be sewn back into place. But if you can't tell already, I love flounce, I love fruit, I love florals. When it comes to those, I don't know if you'd call them motifs, I am a maximalist. I like to have the outfit do a lot of the work for me. I like playful silhouettes, like romper ones. Anything you would put a little kid in. And someone would be like, oh, that's so cute for your 3-year-old. Sign me up. Of course, children's apparel doesn't have such flirty seams. Like this is a kind of bust line. But yeah. That's what I like. Playful, flirty, hyper-feminine. Or else I go the other direction and I like menswear. A lot. So those are my 2 modes. Lots of fuss or period gangster. I've been thinking of doing a shoe show and tell. Don't know if you'd be interested. I wore these in a photo shoot that I actually posted a little bit from, a few photos from which I posted a few photos on my Instagram. I used to think that espadrilles were any shoe that laced up around the ankles in a particular way, and I was chagrined to realize I'd been using the word incorrectly my entire life, that it's a very particular type of shoe with a woven heel, often a wedge, but that the fabric, the kind of, I don't know if it's a rope, but the textile used to make the heel is what makes it an espadrille. So yeah, the more you know. Yeah, this is the life. So that's everything I wanted to show you today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you get good REM sleep, and I hope all your dreams are sweet. And let me know in the comments below if you liked this kind of video and you'd like to see similar videos in the future. Thanks.